Mark Donohue, it's so great to see you again. And this time at the World Happiness Week. Last time we were on a fireside chat at the amazing TransTech conference with Nicola and the team. And today, that was almost a year ago. Today we are probably gonna learn a lot about what's going on in the world. And every time I know about what you are doing and the deeper I go into what you are creating, I get more amazed and I'm more excited about the possibilities. So I think that we have to share this with the world. How are you?
I love it. I love it. It's not just about happiness here. It's about how much I love the passion you bring to the world and all you're doing with the World Happiness Fest and with your involvement in leadership at No Barriers. It's just great. So much fun to be in conversational fireside chat with my dear friend Louis again. And let's lift off.
Let's go. All right. So if there is somebody who knows about what's really going on in the workplace, it's you. Can we start with the kind of the macro and the big picture? What do you see? What are the trends that that we have around?
Well, Louis, I brought a few slides, today. So, I focus on employee family vitality and well-being is foundational to my passion in the world today. I've been involved in ESG or triple bottom line or quadruple bottom line businesses for 33 years now is my whole focus. Maybe you might call that conscious capitalism, but broadly today, I'm trying to look at the trends and how we actually elevate the vitality of the employee beings today, particularly in the middle, the ones that aren't the senior executives, the ones who don't have all the advantages and the perks. And these are the key 7 trends that we see going on today. And I think probably all the viewers out there who are joining us today see these, the whole mega trend toward remote work, the mega trend of teleservices and telehealth, which also goes into telemental health there, the whole freelancer economy. We've seen that going on forever with 99 Designs, Upwork, Fiverr. Business is a force for good, which for my whole career has just been a mega trend going on for over 30 years, keeps on accelerating. And more recently, in the last dozen years, the sharing economy and virtual marketplaces, although marketplaces have been here, particularly since eBay launched in '94. But what's happened with Uber, the Airbnbs, and others, these are actually devices that can be used to creatively elevate human experience and human happiness, even as the everyday complexities of life have radically accelerated and work-life balance has been really hurt and mental health is in a very challenging place. So these are the mega trends of our times in the workforce today.
Yeah, so actually it's not 1, it's 7. So when you combine them, I guess that inspiring you to create something unique. Can you tell us a bit more about your big idea? What is it?
Well, absolutely. And so, I do have another slide here to share on that. So let me pull that up for us. And, really here what we're talking about at a broader level is, what is the most valuable asset in human experience? And when we think about that, it is not, sharing our cars as Uber and Lyft did or sharing our homes as Airbnb did. There are bigger themes there that can actually serve us as we share and we care and we connect. Because I know the theme of this conference this week is reconnection. So at LifeGuides, the company that I founded, we pick on that sharing economy thesis and expand it to the largest asset in human existence. If we set aside the connection to Spirit of God, the largest asset is our collective life experience, wisdom, and empathy, and our individual life experience, wisdom, and empathy. So at LifeGuides, we're trying to modernize the timeless wisdom of mentors and guides by having them have more effective ability to share that. The mission statement of LifeGuides is we're growing a platform for caring people to do extraordinary good. And this is the sharing economy, paying it forward. And our mission is to positively impact 1 billion people's lives directly and indirectly over the next 15 years with enterprises as our partner, not having work be the enemy, but the enterprise is actually being our partner and co-conspirator in creating a happier world.
Yeah, that's, I have to say thank you because I think that when you really build on solutions and this big idea, understanding the mega trends that we are facing, I think that we are really wired to help many people. Can we go a bit deeper about the problem? What is the problem that we are trying to solve here?
Well, fundamentally, in any enterprise that you're building, whether it's a nonprofit or a for-profit, one has to ask not only what's the big idea, but what's the problem, what's the solution? And the reality here is that employers have a massive problem today with the vitality of their employee families. That shows up in productivity, it shows up in negative impacts and culture. So, for example, if I pull up this slide here, we have the Great Resignation today, which is going on globally, but particularly in North America right now. And the cost of this loss of vitality, the whole impacts of stress and isolation, of employee disengagement, of the lack of well-being and lack of mental fitness, the escalating complexities of everyday life creates what's called presenteeism loss. It's like absenteeism when somebody doesn't even show up for work, they're absent. But presenteeism is when they actually show up for work, but they're not actually being productive. They're not actually being whole, complete, and healthy in the way they're manifesting. So the opportunity today is how do we help each other to help employees thrive, to create a work environment where employees as a whole person are nurtured and valued. And fundamentally, we know for time immemorial that that's done human to human. It's not done computer to human. This is how we embrace and elevate human vitality. So what we're doing at LifeGuides is a model in the sharing economy thesis of using tech and the wisdom and empathy of human beings matched up effectively to actually help each other. And this solves a big problem for employers and enhances their bottom line. It does a lot more than that. It makes them businesses of force for good.
Yeah, I truly love it. When you say the cost of vitality and presentism, this is really what's going on worldwide in so many places. We see that every day. Can we go a bit deeper about how the model works? How does LifeGuide works? Can you explain a bit more?
Yes, well, let me pull up another slide here, Louis. It's like a Match.com. In fact, the founder of Match.com has been on my board since the beginning, one of my investors. And except matching for another core human need, of love and sexual expression, which is what Match does. We need another core human being for well-being, which is that one wants to match up with somebody who's navigated the life event you're going through it right now ahead of you. If you were in a tribe or village 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, when you're going through a life event, whether it's the best of times or the worst of times, you would want to look in that village for somebody who'd been through it ahead of you, because that life experience is invaluable. And the ability of that person to ask powerful questions and the relatability, the sense of comfort, the sense of connection, but also the sense of empathy, particularly if it's a challenging life event. If you have somebody who's navigated that same event ahead of you, let's say a child with leukemia or another stressor in one's life, if you're talking to somebody who's been through it, the level of empathy is radically accelerated because the shared experience. We believe that expanding empathy is foundational to the future of humanity that we want to create. LifeGuides is trying to be the largest accelerator of empathy in human history by building the largest community of guides, healers, helpers, and elders in human history, but doing this in combination with technology, not having technology separate us or trying to replace humanity. But as you can see on this screen here, an employee family member can pick a guide, can look at their video, can look at their background, can look at their credentials, see the certifications and trainings they've gotten from LifeGuides. And then that guide can only be a guide in areas where they have personal life experience that's been certified by our team at LifeGuides. So this is very carefully curated so that the employees feel empowered. This is not customer service. This is relationship. And this is done through a platform that's easy to use, simple, has no stigma, has no dogma, and fundamentally empowers that employee family to get the human connection, the mentorship, the guidance from somebody that they're choosing. One or more guides, 1 or 10 guides, whatever number they want. And our members love LifeGuides. Our net promoter score for all our guide sessions is 93 over the course of the company's history.
Wow.
And I'll go on a little bit more here, Louis. The topics we cover are so broad. We cover over 400 topics by our certified guides because employees bring their whole selves and lives to work. Right now, the benefits hemisphere, the ecosystem is so focused on what's not working. Health insurance is about disease and illness. Disability insurance, life insurance. Think about these different things that we do. Mental health, all of a sudden you're stigmatized, something's wrong with you. And you have crisis services, addiction services, alcoholism. You have things to deal with behavioral health, about things like diabetes or being overweight. All of these different dynamics where it so often can feel like something is wrong, or really something oftentimes is wrong. But the reality here is employees want to engage, employee families, in a model also that fills up their lives with greater vitality in the everyday life complexities, the topics of life, like having an abundance mindset or happiness mindset. How do you overcome self-doubt? Those are areas in our prosperity and mindset channel. Or somebody who's having issues with identity or community. Maybe it's sexuality. Maybe somebody's 25 years old and they're questioning their identity. They want to talk to somebody confidentially who's been through that. They can go to our platform, find somebody who feels like them, that feels relatable, completely confidential, talk to them and express themselves, or learn about resilience and adaptability from people who have been through amazing life challenges and have been resilient. Or, all the other aspects of life that come, including, as you're a leader in an enterprise, because we serve the B2B market, the corporate and enterprise and nonprofit market initially, how would you be an empathetic leader? Talking to other leaders who have been through that. So we cover the whole spectrum of life experience, except we don't cover things that are crisis, things that are needing medical advice, things that need legal advice, things that, we're not financial planners. This is a peer-to-peer counsel network that fills the gap that isn't being filled right now by other benefit plans.
Wow, when I see 400 topics, it's like you've done a lot of work in order to identify this. This is super helpful anyhow. So what I'm understanding is that these guys are not therapists, they are not coaches, they look like qualified peers. That's why you probably talk about this modernization of the peer-peer connection. Can we go deeper into who these guys are?
Well, fundamentally, our guides come from all types of backgrounds and all types of credentialing. Now, over 84% of our guides on the platform have a college degree. About 50% of them have postgraduate degrees. Now, that could be anything from an MBA to having a PhD in spirituality, to being a Buddhist priest, to being a end-of-life doula, to yoga teachers, to nutrition experts, to other types of people with a whole broad range of credentialing across all of life. Yet, fundamentally, what differentiates our platform is that you're talking to somebody who's been through the same life experience you're navigating now ahead of you. And then you can choose, what other certifications, trainings, credentialing do I want to see? So this is not somebody assigning somebody to you, it's you choosing. And then all of those guys go through personal interviews, 2 of them, they join a community, they have to pass 21 training modules. We actually pay our guides to train. There's no cost for them. We make sure that they're paid and they're part of a community, they're part of something big. They're part of a visionary enterprise. They're paid in so many more ways than money, but our guides also receive a minimum of $18 for a session that's usually about 30 to 45 minutes and sometimes more. And then they get paid in all these non-financial ways, including living their purpose, including helping others and being part of a community, having all the learn and grow opportunities of life guides. And really, what I would say about how they embody, let me pull up one other slide here.
Yeah.
This shows you fundamentally how do we select guides? Who are they? And by the way, to be a guide or in the guides community, we have a net promoter score there too. Our average guide uses a 92 net promoter score for being part of our community because they're really our clients. I know that it might seem like we're serving the members, which are the employee families, but the special sauce of LifeGuides is the power and the beauty, the integrity, the values, the brilliance, the genius, the wisdom, the empathy, the sincerity, the authenticity of our guides community. And these guides are carefully selected. We have a long waiting list for people who want to become guides, for bringing that humility and curiosity, bringing no judgment, bringing a happiness mindset, which is foundational to your life work, Louis. And we don't create expectations on people. Let the member choose what they want. If they want to have an accountability buddy, we can create expectations for them. If they really just want to have a relaxed conversation about some aspect of their life with no expectations put upon them, it's really the member, driving this piece, is we want to nourish the whole person and the totality of their life experience, that says here. And all of our guides have no conflict of interest. They're not selling anything. They're not upselling you to other services or products here. So this is the core, this is the special sauce of the LifeGuides community. This is why we are able to make such an impact and have such great results.
Wow, it sounds amazing. And actually, I know many people that can fit as part of those guides for both, actually, the World Happiness Foundation Network, and for No Barriers, more focus on persistent struggles and disabilities. It's amazing. It sounds pretty good. Does it really work, Mark?
Well, it actually does. Let me pull up another slide. I happen to have a lot of slides for a lot of years, but a picture is worth 1,000 words.
You have a slide for everything, I ask.
Well, it's good. I have a lot of guides in my life, a lot of experts. So, yeah, I'm usually pretty well prepared. So here's another slide I'll pull up. That's from Kaiser Permanente. Obviously 220,000 healthcare workers that launched with us last summer, and a pilot is now contracted with us more broadly. And these are results, for example, from that. But we have other clients here, Drive Time, Rockefeller Foundation, Meta Financial Group, which is on the NASDAQ, various chambers of commerce, Better Business Bureaus, Toyota, Drive Time, which is a leading company out there in the car sale industry, national. So, our average rating from our guide sessions is over 4.75 from every member session we've had in the company's history. Over 80% of people that have a first call read book. And as you can see down here in the center, if I blow that up, in the course of somebody having access to the LifeGuides platform, 35% of people do 6 to 20 calls. 16% of members that engage with the platform do 21 to 50 calls. So again, this is unlimited services, and people love their guide. That's shown by the rebook rates and the level of engagement they have. At Kaiser, our average engagement rate, 42% of employees that engaged had an offer for the service used it during this period of time we've been working with them. At Kaiser, our NPS score from what they took from their employees, how did they feel about LifeGuides? The employees at Kaiser, our net promoter score is 93%, which of course, in human resource benefits, I've never heard an NPS score on any benefit ever offered before. So this is a rocket ship to the moon, man. This is how we actually positively impact 1 billion people's lives, because we have the largest asset on the planet in human existence, collective life experience, wisdom, and empathy that hasn't been matched up to its most optimal way to expand happiness, expand connection, expand wisdom, expand positive outcomes, expand health in our society. Not all human experience and wisdom can be conveyed via a Google search or reading a document or watching a video. A lot of it is foundationally about human to human. That's been fragmented, disintermediated in our society, partly given technology, part given cultural trends. This is foundationally reconnecting a core part of our human well-being that's been disconnected. And because of this, we're meeting a human need that will never go away, and letting technology allow us to do this in a better way than we could have ever done in the course of human history.
Yeah, as you know, we are moving into state of shared awareness. And when we're into the state of collective shared awareness, this is the moment where tipping points are going to be achieved very, very quickly. And as you know, that as part of the World Happiness Foundation's vision is to reach out to 10 billion people by 2050. That's the number of people that are going to be living in the planet if we don't have more COVIDs and more big conflicts, as we know that we are going to have. So I think this model of shared consciousness and this giving economy in many ways, because you are giving opportunities to guides, you are giving opportunities to companies, you are giving opportunities to everybody to make a difference. This is beautiful. Last question, how do you see this model evolving? What do you see? What do you foresee in the coming future?
Well, a key part of it is our strategic alliances and partnerships, and continuing to have the most amazing guides in the world. These are people you'd want to have as your best friend, or it's not just somebody you meet on the street. These are people who have lived a life of discernment and how they're elevating or learning and growing in their life. And part of that is with partnerships, for example, in organizations that you lead. As you know, we're right now in the process of doing a strategic alliance with World Happiness Foundation for some of our topics like happiness mindset, abundance mindset. We're also, and also for when we expand globally beyond North America, even though we do have some customers in the European Union and other places. These are on initial pilots right now, but North America is our core focus now. But as we grow globally, you'll be able to help us funnel in amazing human beings to be guides in 40 or 50 countries we ever reached. The same thing with your No Barriers organization. We're executive director. We're now building out much deeper channels of topics related to people who identify themselves as disabled. That channels we call Disabilities and Navigating Life, and also for veterans. And veterans want to talk to other veterans, people they can really understand, they relate, who have walked in their shoes ahead of them. And be able to do this in a way that's carefully curated, like we do with the guide model, is something that employers want to support more. And you're helping us, Louis. You're an amazing bright light in the world, and the way you're a super connector for us, the way you've invited me into this session, the way that we're partnering up with your world and your organizational connections. And I just honor you, brother, for all the good work you do in the world.
Well, I think that we are soulmates here. And the good news, Mark, that we are getting more and more people around to make a positive impact in the world. I really appreciate everything that you do. Your team is amazing. And I know that through this type of partnerships, we are going to get to 10 billion for sure. So thank you so much, Mark. It was amazing having you and learning, and kudos to the whole team.